Hello everyone, Hans from Kunidev. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a scroll view main menu in Unity, which looking something like this. So usually when you have a character selector, there will be a UI scroll which looks something like this. You can scroll it up and down, and you can use a scroll bar here, select and view which character that you want to equip or select, and you can click it and it will be selected. This is for the vertical versions, and we will also see how to do it in the horizontal view, which will be looking something like this. Let's deactivate this first and go to the scroll and the horizontal, and it will be looking something like this. Okay, you can also see the scroll bar here, and the scroll will be very easy to do, and you will learn it here very fast and easy to do. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, let's start from the blank Unity project here. I'm gonna go to this hierarchy tab here on the left click, UI, and create a canvas here. Okay, you can rename it canvas UI. Because this looks so bland, I'm gonna add some background to it, but before that, let's go to the canvas UI scale mode, and change the console pixel size to scale with screen size here. I'm gonna add the reference resolution is 900 600, and match is 0.5. The reason you do this because Unity have a functional scale mode that will make your games looks the same all across screen size. So maybe your game plays in mobile, in Steam, in PC, in a portrait, in a landscape. Using this UI scale mode, scale with screen size will help your game UI looks exactly the same as what you want. Okay, let's go to the canvas UI image and go to the thread transform here. Press Alt and click this stretch blue mark here, and your image will stretch according to your screen size. And let's change the background here. Okay, now on the canvas UI again, left click UI panel. Okay, if you want some grayscale or fade, you can do using a panel here. So on the panel, left click and create UI, and create another image. This will serve as the background of the UI scroll. So you can change the size according to your interests here. I'm gonna put it in the middle, and I'm gonna change the color to light yellowish. Okay, and rename here UI scroll. Okay, in this game object, let's add a component scroll rack here. Okay, and this scroll rack will function as the scrollable view for your buttons or your character that you want to do the scrolling. Okay, now one thing that you have to remember is you have to add another component here, which is a rack master D, and this will mask all the contents to fit exactly inside this UI scroll image, so that your button doesn't show up more than this UI image. You will see it later when I deactivate this, the exact example that I'm going to explain it later. Okay, now go to UI scroll, left click and create empty game object. You can create here button holder. Okay, and usually I'm gonna use a grid layout group to help me design a better UI alignment here. I'm gonna show it to you later on. So on the button holder, left click and create UI button. In the button holder, you have to match this rectangle exactly the same size to your image. And if it is a vertical, you need to drag this rectangle or this transform lower to fit how many buttons that you want to be able to be scrolled. If this is a horizontal, you have to put it something like this. So go to the left or go to the right, it's up to you. So remember this. This is really important. For vertical, you have to change the size of this layout. And for the horizontal, change it to the right. Okay, now I'm gonna do the vertical one first. Let's just put it around here. Now let's go to the button holder and let's change the padding here and change the cell size of the button to like 250 to 100. Align it in the middle. Okay, which looking something like this. So you can customize your button, you can add image, add text, it's up to you. So I'm gonna just create a simple one. Let's create a simple image here and add some character here. And let's rename this text to like character A. Okay. Now, you can duplicate how many characters that you wish to be available to be scrolled. Okay, for example, I'm gonna put some like around 8 characters here. Let's change the image to make it looks better. And I'm gonna fast forward this to make it faster. Okay, now my buttons already renamed and replace the sprite. Now let's go to the UI scroll here and go to this contents tab here. Drag and drop that button holder game object which contain all of your buttons into the scroll components here. Okay, and the viewport, you need to use the UI scroll game object that holds all the buttons here. Now let's try and see, let's play. Okay, now you can see your UI is scrollable already. Now you can see your UI is already able to be scrolled, but you see there is some kind of weird things here, so we're gonna fix that. So if this is because this is a vertical scroll view, you have to deactivate this horizontal, just uncheck it. And we will see if that weird stuff happens again. Okay, now you see your UI scroll vertical is completed. And if you want to make some things better, you can use a scroll bar here. Let's go and add a scroll bar. In the UI scroll game object, left click UI and add a scroll bar. Now because this is a vertical, let's go to the direction button to top and move it here. And go to the UI scroll game object. You see there is a vertical scroll bar which need a scroll bar. Just click and drag it and drop it in the vertical scroll bar here. Now let's play. Now you have a scroll bar that fill your. Now you have a scroll bar and a scrollable character buttons here. You can click here and drag and drop the scroll bar, or you can click this scroll wheel. Use your scroll wheel button to move the scroll view. Okay, so this is for the vertical scrolling main menu. What about the horizontal one? Okay, let's stop it. So to make things faster, I'm gonna just duplicate this US scroll. Let's rename the first one US scroll vertical, and the second one is horizontal. Okay, remember the first time I talked about the button holder here. Okay, you see, for vertical, you have to change the layout to the up and down layout, and for horizontal, just click left and right layout. But you have to change how your buttons looks, because you can do something like this. You see, it's so weird here. You cannot do that in horizontal view. You cannot do this kind of thing in the horizontal view. Okay, so let's fix this. Go to the button holder, and let's increase the Y here to 200. I think 300 is a better one. And go to the constraint and fix row. Yeah, go to the constraint, and constraint count is 1 fixed row. Let's increase it so it looks better. And you can change the padding here to fit how your character selector looks in horizontal view. Okay, I think this is good already. Now change the scroll bar and change the direction from left to right, and go to the US scroll horizontal and uncheck the vertical one and check the horizontal, and drag and drop this scroll bar to the horizontal one. Okay, now everything looks exactly like the previous vertical one. Let's play. Okay, now you can do the same things on horizontal view. Notice there is no enough space for your buttons. You see, there is not enough space to fill all of your buttons. You can fix it. Go to the UI scroll button holder here. Just drag it further on the right, depending on how many buttons that you need to fill in the horizontal view. So let's play again. Okay, still not enough. Let's go and add another one. Okay, let's scroll, and you see that is already empty. So you can fit it as much as you want according to how you want your horizontal scroll view that you need to do. Okay, to recap, now you have already learned how to create a UI scroll menu for your on both vertical and horizontal view. This is really important when you want to give your player a simple and a nicer control in your character selector, upgrades, items, inventory. This scroll view really useful to fit that kind of situations. Well, I think that's all for today. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like and comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.